Getting ready for the start of the second half. The Ravens will be receiving the second half kickoff. And let's listen to some of the sounds here in Cincinnati. Football like you've never heard it, presented to you by Sonos. As far as the effort by the Ravens, and after talking to John Harbaugh last night, he was talking about climbing a mountain here. This team was going to be coming out and playing a much more inspired type of an effort than what they saw last week against New England.
I think we saw that. I thought they played inspired. They're trying. There's no doubt about it. This is a really good football team they're facing, Jim, on both sides of the ball. They overcame a horrible start, and we saw the talent they have on both sides. So the Ravens, it's a tough task. Even though they're down, the New York Jets are beating the Miami Dolphins as half, which they wanted, which I know they talked about at halftime. They got to come out here and make something early to get their team excited.
I know it's only halfway through the 1 o'clock games, but at this moment, things are breaking in the right direction for San Diego, and you could even say for Pittsburgh, with Baltimore losing at the moment here and the Dolphins trailing the Jets at halftime. Here are the first half possessions for the Ravens. Field goal coming off of the interceptions, and then very little to account for after that. 1 first down, their last 4 drives. And their wide receivers today, 3 catches for 14 yards. It's Rice right into the line and maybe able to get a yard out of it. Here are the first half numbers for the quarterbacks. Flacco was sacked once, but he was knocked down a bunch of times. Dalton 2-2. 2 touchdowns after the 2 early picks. Second and 9. And that's incomplete. Looking for Jacoby Jones with Adam Jones on the coverage.
Yeah, Pac-Man Jones, that's his nickname now. Adam Jones, he has really played well, I think, here in the last few weeks. Teams like to throw to his side, and he's coming up 3 interceptions. What he couldn't do before, he does now. Find the football when it's in the air. He's been doing that very well.
Total yards after the 2 Raven field goals, 189 to 34 since that early action. 3rd and 9, and Flacco is sacked for the second time today. Crocker, you saw him just ready to pounce on the blitz, and he got to him.
3 linebackers inside. Who's going to blitz? They don't know. Here comes this, and then that frees up Chris Crocker from the outside. So it really caught the Ravens in a tough situation. You got the crowd noise. You can't make the adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Awesome call by Mike Zimmer.
Cook. And a beautiful punt that Tate returned 7 yards. Levine on the tackle after a 55-yard boot. And the Bengals have made life miserable this afternoon for Flacco.
Deze wedstrijd is mede mogelijk gemaakt door Toto. Tot zo.
Today was the day that I put everything in perspective. I fell asleep, but when I woke up, everything changed and the skies turned off. But that was before. That was before. Came along and he played me a song with a little bit of love and a little bit of yeah.
Nieuw van Nationale Nederlanden. Een huis binnenlopen met de hypotheektoezegging al op zak. Wat er ook gebeurt.
Gesmeed in extreme hitte, gehard in extreme kou. We versterkten ons staal tot in de perfectie om onze dunste mesjes te maken. Zo ontwikkelden we ons meest geavanceerde scheersysteem voor de beste Gillette scheerervaring ooit. De Gillette Fusion ProGlide Goud Limited Editie voor mannen van staal. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Fox Sports op je mobiel. Met de app van Fox Sports hoef je geen moment meer te missen. Bekijk alle live-wedstrijden, goals, samenvattingen, interviews en het laatste nieuws op je tablet of mobiel. Download gratis de Fox Sports app in de App Stores.
We mentioned the numbers just before that third down snap, which resulted in a 9-yard sack, 24 yards of offense since Tucker's second field goal. First snap of the second half for the Bengals, and Dalton just rolling out of the pocket and throwing it into the ground in the direction of Orson Charles. How about the rebound by Dalton after a couple of poor throws at the start to come back and throw a couple of touchdowns and lead this offense?
Well, we heard Boomer Esiason talk about it at half. You got to be resilient. You're going to make mistakes in this league, Jim, and at least they're trying to be aggressive when they make those mistakes. But Andy Dalton said it to us best opening game of the year. I'm going to go out there, play well, and shut up everybody who doubts my talent.
Over the head of A.J. Green with Smith on the coverage.
So I think that even that statement he made to us before the season says a lot about him, that he's determined. He's not worried about all the naysayers, because we know in this league, even though he's a young quarterback, you got to win a Super Bowl before we validate their career. It's incredible the way it is. That's just the truth. But he's had another solid year, and he keeps getting better in his third year. And this offense, it's about the quarterback distributing the football.
It's a 3rd and 10 for Dalton. Wide open. Hawkins to the 45 of the Ravens. Gain of 14.
One thing I've really noticed that's a difference in him between the previous 2 years is when the pressure in the pocket starts to collapse, he stands right in there and throws over the top of the defensive players. It's a blitz. When there's a blitz, usually the pocket caves in pretty quick. Beautiful throw over the middle. Give a lot of credit to this offensive line. How about that? 17-6, 3 straight throws.
One for another long ball, and it's overthrown. Excellent coverage by Jimmy Smith. He was right there with A.J. Green. If you thought your fantasy season was over, it's not, because you can play NFL Playoff Challenge. 8 players, 4 rounds. Learn more. NFL.com/fantasy.
You know, talking to Andy Dalton on Friday, too, you know, we covered enough of his games, Jim. I remember his rookie year, seen him late in the year. He looked like a rookie that had kind of hit the wall. You get tired mentally and physically. He said, what a difference. He's still fresh this late in the year.
And it gives to Green Ellis, running right behind the replacement center, Trevor Robinson, for 3. And now you see another player, Alex Smith, hobbling to the sideline.
Oh, yeah, he's holding that right arm down.
And again, they lost Kyle Cook in the first half with a foot injury.
2 starting tight ends are out, too.
Yep.
Which you've talked about. They still have Orson Charles, who plays fullback and tight end, so great depth at that position, and they need it today.
3rd and 7.
Yep.
Intercepted, and it's Webb who has it. Very nearly had Jones strip him from behind. So Webb, who had only 1 pick on the year coming in, that was against Dalton in the earlier matchup. He gets him here.
It's pressure on the quarterback. That pocket really collapsed fast. I think he overthrew A.J. Green on the under route as he comes across an under because he had to throw the football before he was ready. That's a bad mistake. You can't take chances, not a chance, but you got to understand the score and be a little more careful in a situation like that as a quarterback.
And let's see if this is the spark that the Ravens needed. Flacco to Pitta. And he's down at the 41. The reception stands. By the way, this is the first time that Dalton has been intercepted in his career 3 times in a home game.
Well, I'll give a lot of credit, of course, Webb, nice catch. But they pushed the pocket back and made him throw the football before he was ready.
2nd and 4. Over to Brown, and Marlon Brown is bumped out, but a first down for the Ravens.
Good start in this drive by this Ravens offense. Protection. Joe Flacco gets a little rhythm throwing the football. He got some easy throws, finally. And also this Bengals defense, it backed off. The Ravens took advantage of it.
Torrey Smith has just 1 catch in this game.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 98 defense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, it's a big drive, of course, for this Ravens offense. Whatever you've saved for the second half, you bring it out now. This is the look that really confuses them. 2 linebackers near the center.
1st and 5. Over to Pitta. Blockers ahead. And he's out of bounds with another first down.
Awesome job by Joe Flacco. Chris Crocker once again comes on the blitz, untouched, catch it, looks, gets rid of it. It's a good thing they had a screen to the tight end.
Now from the Bengals 23, the draw to Rice. Tried to cut outside, and Moreeeee had a hold of him quickly. Gain of 2.
Linebackers, it's a really good group for the Bengals. They see a run, Jim, and watch how fast Moreeeee comes up, arms around, take him down. Vincent Ray Moreeeee.
2nd and 8, empty backfield, and Flacco throwaway in the direction of Smith.
Good time here. Again, we said it about Andy Dalton. Joe Flacco, 17-6. If it's not there, it's not do or die. Try not to take a sack, but definitely don't turn it over. A field goal gets you to 1 score down.
They have missed on their last 6 third down attempts. They need to get to the 13 this time. Open to Pitta, but cannot cut it upfield and pick up the first. He's 3 yards short, and they'll have to go field goal here to try to bring it down to a 1-possession game.
It just shows you what a job that time. Michael Boley just chases Pitta down and brings him down. But the Bengals, when you move the ball on them, Jim, you can kind of see they got answers. They can change it up and take you out of rhythm with different combinations of pass rushers and blitzers. Again, the Ravens not able to take advantage of it.
Tucker, who already in this game has set the franchise record for points scored in the season, tries from 34, and he's 3 for 3 on the day. Justin Tucker. So, 3 interceptions by the Ravens today, and all 3 times the result was a field goal. And it's 17.
Today was the day that I put everything in perspective. I fell asleep, but when I woke up, everything changed and the skies turned off. But that was before. That was before. Came along and he played me a song with a little bit of love and a little bit of yeah, yeah.
Nieuw van Nationale Nederlanden. Een huis binnenlopen met de hypotheektoezegging al op zak. Wat er ook gebeurt.
Gezichtsverzorging voor mannen is anders dan voor vrouwen. Het hoeft niet moeilijk, tijdrovend of pijnlijk te zijn. Verzorging kan snel, simpel en goed voelen. Nivea Man Originals gezichtscrème. De manier om het beste uit jezelf te halen. Nivea Man, it starts with you.
Nieuwjaarsdag staat garant voor spectaculair voetbal uit de onovertroffen Premier League. Live op Fox Sports. Om 2:15 de Citizens op bezoek bij Swansea. Om 4:00 Arsenal thuis tegen Cardiff. En Liverpool ontvangt Hull City. Om 6:30 op Old Trafford Man United de Spurs. Een heerlijk begin van 2014. Met Engels voetbal op zijn best bij Fox Sports.
You'll remember 2 weeks ago, the Ravens at Detroit never found the end zone. Tucker 6 for 6 on field goals. Last week, a touchdown against the Patriots. That's one touchdown in their last 35 possessions by the Ravens offense. And the run back is a good one all the way out to the 32 by Pierman. Well, look who's working on New Year's Eve. JB, Chris, and Phil Simms.
Well, don't
ringing
sound,
in the new year.
Don't sound so shocked that we're going to work.
You guys are going to work, going to drop the ball, we're going to celebrate, balloons will be flying.
There you go. No, we're going to drop Chris Collinsworth on his head. That's how we celebrate the new year.
Phil Simms rockin' Eve on Inside the NFL Wednesday night on Showtime.
Wow. There you go. Thanks, Jim.
It's Bernard. Nice little stutter step move to get out to the 39. That burst is good for 7.
How about this Bengals offensive line, though? They get a little injury in there. They get a nick. Kyle Cook, the center, and they just move it around. I've noticed that in the last few games. They got depth. They got players. They got versatility, so they can move around and still get it done and give their quarterback a chance. Now you got Andrew Whitworth at left tackle instead of left guard.
2nd and 3. They call on Bernard again, and look at the Ravens run right down the line with him, including Elam. And the rookie pounding the ground as he makes a tackle behind the line for a loss of 4.
Yeah, really good. Number 26 gets right up in there. He had one of the best games I've seen the safety have all year a couple weeks ago against the Detroit Lions. When he plays near the line of scrimmage, he can tackle, he can blitz, diagnose his plays quickly. He was definitely worth a first-round draft pick.
Let's see if the Ravens can get the Bengals off the field in a hurry.
Give them a taste of their own medicine as they fake this blitz up inside.
False start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's twice today Andy Dalton has tried to hard count to maybe fool the defense. You want to make sure if they're going to blitz, you get them off sides, or you get to see what they're going to do. And when those hard counts, his offensive linemen, they have jumped both times.
It's Mike Pollock seeing a lot of action today for Zeitler. 3rd and 12. Pass. Well defended. No flag. Looking for Jones.
Tell you what, Andy Dalton is definitely not shy. That football looked like it might have been wet. It slipped out of his hand. Jones going across the field. Boy, you got to square that route off. He's drifting away. That's how you get defensive backs to cut underneath you and get interceptions.
So a 3 and out is forced by Baltimore. The first time today, and the punt. My gosh, it's into the stands. It was a snap hook.
The side judge never saw it.
I've never seen one. I've seen Shanks. Look out left.
The rush made him do it.
It's a 10-yard.
Netflix kijk je zoveel series, films en documentaires als je aan kan. Direct online op je tablet, laptop, smart TV of andere schermen met internet. Probeer ons nu 1 maand gratis. Je kunt opzeggen wanneer je wilt. Netflix, all you can watch.
Ben jij gelukkig getrouwd? Ik ook. www.secondlove.nl.
Fox Sports op je mobiel. Met de app van Fox Sports hoef je geen moment meer te missen. Bekijk alle live-wedstrijden, goals, samenvattingen, interviews en het laatste nieuws op je tablet of mobiel. Download gratis de Fox Sports app in de App Stores.
Boy, he hit the outside of it. That's Darren Simmons, the special teams coach.
And it traveled only 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, so the Ravens have the ball at the Cincinnati 40.
You're talking about 3 turnovers and that punt. You can't get many more chances than this if you're the Ravens offense.
They stack the left side and go gun. Pass is threaded to Torrey Smith. That was a Flacco-esque pass that we saw in the postseason a year ago, right on the money for 14.
Yeah, Joe Flacco has shaken off the fact that he got beat up in the first half. They lined everybody up to the left, and that was a good word, just threaded, lasered, ripped, all descriptions fit.
First down draw with Rice, who's been carrying the load in the second half. They really barely used him in the first half and clearly sent a message.
Yeah, they're trying to get some steam going, and I think they have. His determination is apparent, no doubt. That time the tackle was by Domatal Peko. Or as he met us yesterday and he said, "Hey, Peko, good to see you."
2nd and 5, and Flacco to the end zone. He's open! It was Jacoby Jones who had his defenders beat.
Going against Dre Kirkpatrick, and this is what he sees every single week. Dre Kirkpatrick, he sees double moves because it worked on him in the preseason. It worked on him last week. He gave up 2 double moves. They constantly work on it in practice, but he's going to keep seeing them as long as wide receivers get by him.
All right, they've missed on their last 7 third down attempts. Third and 5. And they'll convert this time as Marlon Brown, he fumbles, but did the ground cause the fumble? They're going to rule him down on the field. Picks up 9. The ball comes out when he landed.
The ground can cause a fumble when there is contact. Or I should say it's no fumble. As he jumps, it came out when that arm hit the ground. It's what it looks like to me. Possession, no fumble.
You're going to be challenged, though, by the Bengals. Marvin Lewis says, you know what, let's take another look at that.
Cincinnati is challenging the previous play.
The rookie from Georgia, undrafted, Marlon Brown. First look at it, Phil, what do you think?
No fumble.
Wie had dat gedacht? Van genoeg piek op de bank naar nog maar 1 piek in de boom. Daarom vier ik nu alle feestdagen in één. Dat is lekker voordelig. En min een schoonfamilie. Marsepein. Maar de kinderen verwachten nog wel gewoon cadeaus. Gelukkig is Telfort ook nu super voordelig. Zo hou ik dus genoeg over voor mijn Sinterkerst en nieuwinkopen.
Voordelige feestdagen bij Telfort. Bijvoorbeeld met de Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. 300 minuten, 500 MB en 100 sms'jes. Elke maand voor maar €21. Telfort, werkt in je voordeel.
Gelukkig Sinterkerst en nieuw!
En doe de warm op, het is midden in de nacht.
Gesmeed in extreme hitte, gehard in extreme kou. We versterkten ons staal tot in de perfectie om onze dunste mesjes te maken. Zo ontwikkelden we ons meest geavanceerde scheersysteem voor de beste Gillette scheerervaring ooit. De Gillette Fusion ProGlide Goud Limited Editie voor mannen van staal. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Fox Sports dendert ook in 2014 door met internationaal topvoetbal uit Engeland en Italië. Volgende week zaterdag uit de FA Cup. Blackburn Rovers thuis tegen Manchester City. En de burenruzie tussen Arsenal en Tottenham. Op zondag de Red Devils tegen de Swans. Uit de Serie A de clash tussen de 2 titelfavorieten. Juve, Roma. En de toegift op maandag uit Stadio Olimpico. Lazio Inter. Genieten van internationaal topvoetbal. Live op Fox Sports.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver was down before he lost possession of the ball. Cincinnati is charged with a timeout.
Possession of the football, contact took him to the ground. So he had possession of the football when he hit the ground. That's why it's no fumble.
And the Ravens finally convert on 3rd down. So a new set of downs at the Cincinnati 12. The Bengals are out of challenges now with that one not going their way, and it's Rice running hard that time behind the center. Gradkowski and picking up 4, maybe 5.
So I look at this, 17-9, 8 points down. The Ravens just lining up right away. Why they're doing this, they're trying to give Joe Flacco extra time so he can look at the defense. If he doesn't like the play, then he can change it.
Rice split out wide to the right, 2nd and 6. He can pick up a 1st down at the 2. Flacco's going to the end zone though, and he's open. It's Marlon Brown with the touchdown grab.
And they're going to go for 2. Usually I say don't chase the points. First the touchdown, a little seam route between the defenders. Caught it cleanly. They really have high expectations for Marlon Brown. Ooh, that's close, but he is.
Respect right there for the Ravens. Brown, undrafted out of Georgia, where he played 2 seasons with A.J. Green.
The Ravens 2-point conversion, left hash. That tells you either they're going to give the guy on the left a chance one-on-one, or this play absolutely, the formation says it's going right.
Well, you're going against the book here that says kick it, but the Ravens looking for the tie. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
You got to go with your gut sometimes, and I agree with this call. The heck with the book.
Flacco. And a flag is out. It's going to be called against Crocker, holding on to Brown.
Here's why I say go for 2, Jim. The importance of the game, the situation they're in. It's so rough on this offense. Now you know what you got to deal with the rest of the game because of going for 2, what it causes. How's that sound?
I agree with you here. You're as conservative as they come when it comes to going for 2.
Holding, 32 defense. Half the distance to the goal. Retry the extra point.
Chris Crocker, right in your screen, number 32, tried to run a little rub route. he panicked. You know why? Because he thought he was going to get picked. So he did the right thing and reached out and grabbed the receiver.
So the football's at the 1.
They changed personnel, brought in their big guys, tried to make this Bengals defense think, here comes a run.
And they brought in the fullback Vontae Leach and an extra lineman in Wagner for the 2 and the tie. The run for it. Rice cuts outside behind Leach, looking for it and finds it to tie the game at 17.
That's something to be excited about, Ray Rice. What a job reading it right and taking it outside and just gets there.
Boy, Harbaugh with a big hug for Rice.
Deze wedstrijd is mede mogelijk gemaakt door Toto. Tot zo.
Gezichtsverzorging voor mannen is anders dan voor vrouwen. Het hoeft niet moeilijk, tijdrovend of pijnlijk te zijn. Verzorging kan snel, simpel en goed voelen. Nivea Man Originals gezichtscrème. De manier om het beste uit jezelf te halen. Nivea Man, it starts with you.
Gesmeed in extreme hitte, gehard in extreme kou. We versterkten ons staal tot in de perfectie om onze dunste mesjes te maken. Zo ontwikkelden we ons meest geavanceerde scheersysteem voor de beste Gillette scheerervaring ooit. De Gillette Fusion Pro Glide Goud Limited Editie voor mannen van staal. Gillette, the beste man can get.
Je start met de eerste bocht voor je en het hele land achter je. Eén doel en je stopt voor niemand. Ik start mijn dag met vertrouwen. Nu net zo belangrijk als toen. Want als de wereld kijkt, wil je jezelf laten zien. Het is niet alleen wat je eruit wast, het is vertrouwen dat je erin wast. Head & Shoulders.
Nieuwjaarsdag staat garant voor spectaculair voetbal uit de onovertroffen Premier League. Live op Fox Sports. Om 2:15 de Citizens op bezoek bij Swansea. Om 4:00 Arsenal thuis tegen Cardiff. En Liverpool ontvangt Hull City. Om 6:30 op Old Trafford Man United de Spurs. Een heerlijk begin van 2014. Met Engels voetbal op zijn best bij Fox Sports.
Remember, it was all set up by the 10-yard punt by Powell, and then Crocker called for the hold on the 2-point try that led to the Rice conversion from a yard out. And the game is tied at 17, as it was in the first meeting at the end of regulation, which the Ravens won in overtime. Flags are out, and that'll mean they'll be starting back close to the 10.
That's a tough football to bring out. High kick back of the end zone.
During the return, holding number 99, half the distance to the goal. First.
Remember, the Ravens need to win and they need help. Sure, there are scenarios if they lose and Miami, Pittsburgh, and San Diego lose. You can't bank on that because Pittsburgh's already up 17-zip early fourth quarter, so you can pretty much dispense with that. So perhaps given a little bit of juice at halftime. I'm sure they told him about the Jets winning down at Miami.
Late in the third quarter, still 14-7 Jets.
Green Ellis. And 3 Ravens are all over him, including Elam, along with Brandon Williams. No gain. And Pittsburgh blanking the Browns, who have really done nothing the back half of the season. For a team that is in transition, a young team trying to grow, not showing a lot here late in the year. But more importantly here, the Jets over Miami with a minute to go in the third quarter, up 7. No scoring so far in the second half of that game. 2nd and 10, and that'll be good for a first down. Marvin Jones.
Beautiful throw, timing route. This is something that few teams do in the NFL, but the Bengals do it really well. When you got speed outside, Andy Dalton hit the back foot, puts it right on the target. The only defender that can stop you is a bad throw. Corey Graham, no chances because it's right on the sideline.
Jones with 4 catches, including a touchdown grab. Dalton on the keep, and he's got another 9-yard run. We've got an update on the Carolina Panthers-Atlanta Falcons game. JB and Shannon in New York.
Good protection for Cam means what?
Yes, JB. 1001, 1002, 1003, 4, 5, 6, 7, touchdown! 21-17, Carolina back in front of the Falcons.
I wonder that's how Phil counted as well. Back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
I think it was 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. 2nd down and 1, and that'll be enough for the first down. That's been a wild one down in Atlanta. Of course, you got all the scenarios on the NFC side too, and that Carolina story is a big one.
Yeah, they're fighting for the number 2 seed. Win, they get a week off. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Jim, that is a lot of motivation to all these football teams to think that they could get a week off, rest up, and emotionally recharge and get ready for that first playoff game.
1st and 10. As Bernard has Brandon Williams on him. Quickly 1-yard gain. And you talk about that week off. I know that a lot of people don't think Buffalo's going to go in and beat New England at Gillette, but they've been playing well of late. The Bills have, and that's why Cincinnati, with a win here today, will be paying great attention to that game later, possibly moving up to the 2.
We've been talking about it all weekend. Teams don't lay down anymore in this league. How about the Jets? Oh, they're not going to beat the Miami Dolphins 14-7 at the end of the 3rd quarter. What's Atlanta doing to Carolina? Atlanta's had a terrible year. They're going out there and playing. I'm sure the Bills will give it their best, and I think it'll be a tight game up in New England.
2nd and 9. And that's the first catch of the season for Orson Charles, who plays both fullback, tight end, a little H-back, but he's seeing action now because we saw Alex Smith walk to the sideline injured, and it's a wrist injury, not expected to return. So they're down their first 3 tight ends.
How about that? You know, the one thing about this Bengals team, they have overcome injuries and had this terrific year so far. They lost their 2 best defensive players. They made the adjustment. They've had injuries on the offensive line. They switched them around, and they still got the job done.
Saw Gresham on the sideline. 3rd and 1, and that's good for a first. Nata with the tackle, but too late. Gain of 5.
Saw some power in that run that time. The center, Zeitler, 68. Look at that double team along with Andre Smith. That's what got it done. Look down the line of scrimmage, you see the pushback. I'll tell you what, even in a double team, when you can move Haloti Ngata back, that's quite an accomplishment.
We keep talking about the Bengals scenario, trying to move up to a 2. They're also trying to stay as a 3. If everybody wins the division champs, they whip it over to A.J. Green for just a yard. I mean, Indianapolis is going to beat Jacksonville. They have been thumping them from the start. And if the Colts win and the Bengals lose, what that means now is Cincinnati could be talking about playing Kansas City next week. That's what it would be, because Kansas City's locked as the 5.
Is Kansas City going to rest a lot of their players today? They're going to do that. They have two dangerous pass rushers in an offense that's really clicked here late in the year. It doesn't matter. Playoffs, everybody's dangerous.
A.J. Green has just broken Anquan Bolden's NFL record for most catches first 3 years in the league. Screen to Bernard. Down the sideline. May have stepped out. They got him on the field. Out of bounds at the 26. Out of bounds back at the 26. Wasn't tackled till the 15, but he was out earlier.
Jim, just what he does, he gets to the edge, and is, because of his quickness and his cutting ability, able to beat the tackler to the spot. Oh, that's where he stepped out. You're right on the 25. That screen plays against a unique defense. Good timing again by Jay Gruden.
Bengals in the 3rd quarter with a 27-yard gain. We're tied through 3, and you're watching the NFL on CBS.
De nieuwe Renault Clio. Restart your heart. De nieuwe Renault Clio. Restart your heart.
Ruil uw oude auto in voor een nieuwe Renault en wie weet betaalt Renault €10.000 mee. Check Renault.nl.
Fox Sports dendert ook in 2014 door met internationaal topvoetbal uit Engeland en Italië. Volgende week zaterdag uit de FA Cup. Blackburn Rovers thuis tegen Manchester City. En de burenruzie tussen Arsenal en Tottenham. Op zondag de Red Devils tegen de Swans. Uit de Serie A de clash tussen de twee titelfavorieten. Juve, Roma. En de toegift op maandag uit Stadio Olimpico. Lazio, Inter. Genieten van internationaal topvoetbal. Live op Fox Sports.
Well, there you go, through 3 frames. When they played 4 quarters November the 10th, it was 17-17 with a regulation-ending Hail Mary completion from Dalton to A.J. Green.
Yeah, 2 tips, and A.J. Green caught it.
Dalton told us the other day, the first time it's ever happened successfully for him at any level.
Well, at least he had it happen once.
Of course, Ravens went on to win that game in overtime. 1st and 10, throw here. It's Bernard who just had the big gainer to close out the 3rd quarter. He's got another 11. Well, actually, they spot him back at the 16, so just a game of 9.
Some equalizer. Suggs comes inside. They have the screen once again to the halfback, and I'm not going to say it's the difference in the game, but you get in trouble on the offensive side. If you're the Bengals, you just go, well, let's throw it to 25 against an aggressive defense. You always have to give playmakers, Giovanni Bernard, you got to give them chances. The Bengals doing that.
2nd and 1. And Bernard looks like he's got enough for the 1st down. Well, here it is. The one you just referred to, week 10, down 17-10. Ihedebo tapped it last, and Green stood alone. And Dalton said when he saw it tipped, he knew he had it.
Yep. Ravens somehow dug deep and they found a way to win. It looks like they might have to do that again here today.
1st down to the end zone, and a flag is out on Jimmy Smith. Going to be called for interference on against Marvin, trying to defend Marvin Jones.
Interference, number 22 defense. Ball will be spotted on the 1-yard line. 1st down.
Inside seam, going straight up the field. They love these plays, don't they, Jim? And they're good at it. We talked about it many times. Tall receivers, bump and run.
74 reporting eligible. 74.
And especially when they're inside, because now they can go in, they can go out. When they go straight, the defensive back is really not ready for that route.
This is a drive that's taken almost 7 minutes. 1st and goal to go, and a timeout's called by the Ravens, who don't know it, but again, needing the Jets to help them out. The Jets just missed a 35-yard field goal to go up 10. Nick Folk, who's been almost automatic, was wide right from 35 yards.
Man, it's a big moment. That's why the Ravens called a timeout. That's a huge timeout to waste in a game that means so. It's a waste any game in the NFL because so many of them are close. And in the second half, you save those timeouts, you know, like I've said many times, like it's gold, because it is. John Harbaugh, you can even see the frustration knowing using that timeout hurts game management by him.
Well, these defending Super Bowl champions, John Harbaugh, have been in a lot of big games the last few years, tight games, and have so many times found a way to pull them out.
That's all they've done this year. Every game they play comes down to the last drive. So physically and emotionally, sooner or later, that's got to wear you out.
Green Ellis, the running back, 1st and goal. Dalton has it for the touchdown. That's the 3rd time today that Dalton kept it, and it's fooled him every time.
Well, it was on the game tape. If you watched it, they did it last week against Minnesota with wonderful success. I know whoever they play in the playoffs will be ready for that. I'm not sure who made the mistake. Suggs went so hard, tells me McLean maybe was supposed to scrape and make the play. I don't know, but it was a good call by Jay Gruden once again.
And it's the 14th straight time the Bengals have scored a touchdown when they've entered the red zone. Just amazing.
That's talent and innovation, no doubt. It takes both.
And I'll tell you one other thing. That's the 6th time this year they've driven 90 yards or more for a touchdown. That's the high total in the league. And they're back up by 7.
Als je met andere ogen naar de wereld kijkt, worden gewone dingen opeens heel bijzonder. Zo is de Skoda Octavia Combi Greenline heel 2014 verkrijgbaar met 14% bijtelling. Kies dus voor de grootste auto met 14% bijtelling. Al vanaf €25.650. Bekijk Fox Sports waar en wanneer jij wilt met Fox Sports Go. Ervaar alle wedstrijden en programma's live op je PC, Mac, tablet of smartphone. Bekijk als eerste alle goals, samenvattingen en volg de wedstrijden live. Waar je ook bent. Ga naar foxsports.nl of download nu de Fox Sports app. Nu, Fox Sports Go. Gratis bij je Fox Sports abonnement. De Skoda Octavia Combi Greenline. Heel 2014 verkrijgbaar met 14% bijtelling. Al vanaf €25.650. Fox Sports op je mobiel. Met de app van Fox Sports hoef je geen moment meer te missen. Bekijk alle live-wedstrijden, goals, samenvattingen, interviews en het laatste nieuws op je tablet of mobiel. Download gratis de Fox Sports app in de app stores.
Well, this next, let's call it 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to find out a lot of answers about the postseason, the direction and the seedings. Not everything's going to be worked out, but this is one of the hinge games right here. Dalton just went 5 for 5 on that drive and then rushed it in for a touchdown. The first quarterback to run for a touchdown against the Ravens since Kaepernick in the Super Bowl. And Jacoby Jones is tackled at the 22. But we've seen the Ravens already have to face the challenge of 11 down, come back and tie it. And now they come back out on the field 7 behind.
You said it earlier. They're used to the pressure. They've done it under it for 2 years. They got it done last year. This year, they've had some games where they were able to overcome. This is going to be tough because this is a very talented Cincinnati defense. And what a drive by the Bengals. Backed up. The play calling and the execution were magnificent.
From the gun, Flacco, pass intercepted by Crocker.
Defensive lineman, quick pass, get your hands up. It's the inside slant. It's tight. And that's Michael Johnson. That is tough. Michael Johnson, Carlos Dunlap, both about 6'5", 6'6". They look like they could play in the NBA. And Chris Crocker Nice job being alert, making the interception.
Michael Johnson's made a number of big plays in this game. He's been a menace to Flacco a number of times, and it leads to the pick, the 20th interception thrown by Flacco this season. Play action and Dalton. Incomplete, looking for Bernard. We got an update on what the Chiefs' strategy is going to be as far as actives and inactives for the game against the Chargers. JB, what's the story?
Graphically expressed, Shannon.
JB, I don't really think the Chiefs are trying to win this ball game. Look at all the inactives, 4 Pro Bowl starters, and they're not playing into the San Diego Charger game today.
Coach Cowher says it's the postseason that matters. Back to Jim and Phil.
So the Chargers go against a Chiefs roster we're not familiar with, and things are breaking their way in both of the early games at the moment as Bernard is tackled for no gain.
You know, as you sit back and watch this today, you watch this Bengals offense and the play calling. How about that first down? They were going for the win right there on the first play. It didn't happen, so Andy Dalton threw it away, and Jay Gruden played in the Arena Football League, coached in the Arena Football League, calls plays like he's still there. It's attack every single play. And this offense, they're used to it.
Third and 10. And almost intercepted on the rebound by Elam as it bounced off the hands of Sanzenbacher.
Trying to throw a touchdown to Mohamed Sanu, but the defense is ready. Watch the double move. It's covered. They go back underneath. Looks like it's going to be short of the first down, but fortunate. Ball's tipped up in the middle of the field, usually get intercepted. Bengals get a break.
And Nugent is back out for a 38-yard field goal attempt. He was injured late in the season last year. They had to go with Josh Brown down the stretch. And Nugent with a 10-point lead, and he drills it. 10 points in a minute and 10 seconds after Johnson deflected it to his teammates. And then Nugent kicked it through.
Netflix kijk je zoveel series, films en documentaires als je aan kan. Direct online op je tablet, laptop, smart TV of andere schermen met internet. Probeer ons nu 1 maand gratis. Je kunt opzeggen wanneer je wilt. Netflix. All you can watch.
Ben jij gelukkig getrouwd? Ik ook. www.secondlove.nl.
Nieuwjaarsdag staat garant voor spectaculair voetbal uit de onovertroffen Premier League. Live op Fox Sports. Om 2:15 de Citizens op bezoek bij Swansea. Om 4 Arsenal thuis tegen Cardiff. En Liverpool ontvangt Hull City. Om 6:30 op Old Trafford Man United de Spurs. Een heerlijk begin van 2014. Met Engels voetbal op zijn best bij Fox Sports.
Well, the Super Bowl champs have a lot of work to do here in the fourth quarter. Down 10. Things down in Miami going the way that they had hoped coming into the day, with the Jets still holding on to that lead of 14-7, but not taking care of business on their end at the moment. Jacoby Jones with a 35-yard run back. For Super Bowl champs not qualifying for the postseason the following year, we've seen it. We've seen it with Pittsburgh a couple of times. These are the last three right here, 06, 09, both Pittsburgh. And a year ago, the Giants didn't back up their Super Bowl win with a playoff appearance the next year. There's Flacco. Over to Rice, and he got hit by his teammate, Marshall Yanda. And it knocked him off his feet for no gain.
Yeah, they don't like what they see down the field, so he dumps it off last year. And watch 73, boom, just knocks him down. But last year, when they dumped that pass off short, they were dynamic. Ray Rice can make it happen. There were people deep down the field covering receivers. Not this year. 5 yards a catch for Ray Rice.
They go with him on the draw this time. And it's only a gain of 3.
You saw who was inside blocking here, Marlon Brown. You talked about it, Jim. They should be excited about him. Talent, tough, blocks like a tight end when they need him to. But right now they need him to catch it like a wide receiver.
Cincinnati trying to finish the regular season undefeated at the Jungle. 3rd and 7. Here comes the blitz. The pass almost intercepted. Maualuga had a play on the football. Now it's 4th down.
It's all about timing and spacing. Look how late this blitz comes against Joe Flacco. And it happened so late, he knows there's a free runner. He has to move, and again, very fortunate, not an interception that could probably have ended the game.
Cook with no pressure. Doesn't catch it fully to the 25. Tate, about a 4-yard run back. Baltimore for the 5th time today, 3 and out. And the ball belongs to the Bengals. Up 10. Quarter number 4.
Deze wedstrijd is mede mogelijk gemaakt door Toto. Tot zo.
Netflix kijk je zoveel series, films en documentaires als je aan kan. Direct online op je tablet, laptop, smart tv of andere schermen met internet. Probeer ons nu 1 maand gratis. Je kunt opzeggen wanneer je wilt. Netflix, all you can watch.
Ben jij gelukkig getrouwd? Ik ook. www.secondlove.nl.
Fox Sports dendert ook in 2014 door met internationaal topvoetbal uit Engeland en Italië. Volgende week zaterdag uit de FA Cup. Blackburn Rovers thuis tegen Manchester City. En de burenruzie tussen Arsenal en Tottenham. Op zondag de Red Devils tegen de Swans. Uit de Serie A de clash tussen de 2 titelfavorieten. Juve, Roma. En de toegift op maandag uit Stadio Olimpico. Lazio Inter. Genieten van internationaal topvoetbal. Live op Fox Sports.
10:47 left in this one. Jim Nantz sitting alongside Phil Simms. Week 17 as Green Ellis Finally tripped up by Darrell Smith and a gain of 8. So the Ravens again need a win here and need help. A win and a Miami loss would put them in. A win and a San Diego loss would put them in. Pittsburgh is not going to lose that game, so that last scenario, you can toss that one aside. They're up 20-0 with 5 minutes to go over Cleveland. And again, Cincinnati is trying to not only maintain its 3rd position, but possibly move up to a 2 if New England loses to Buffalo later. There's Hawkins. And that right there is your X factor with the Bengals. Out so early in the season.
Yeah, it's just another playmaker. Not surprised by the play selection. Bad snap, and Andy Dalton makes the catch, but they are constantly looking deep down the field. The outside move, up the inside seam, and Webb has no answer for it. That is tough because Webb has to stay outside. He made him think that he was going outside when Hawkins took it up in, wide open.
Missed most of the season, did Hawkins, with injured reserve designated to return. 38 yards on that pass play. Dalton pass, or the feet down, what a catch. As he headed Bo is shaken up on the hit. Jones with the catch, and the flag is out.
Double move on the sideline.
Flag was thrown already.
Does he get his feet down? Oh boy, what a hit. Looks like he's out. No body part came down in bounds, did not get the feet down. It's a clean hit. Doesn't use the crown of his helmet, gets to the side, hits him in the chest.
He got 1 foot in, but the other one was taken out of bounds.
There are 2 fouls against the defense. Illegal contact, number 32, that penalty is declined. Unnecessary roughness, number 32, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, they're calling it unnecessary roughness because they say the crown of his helmet hits on top of your screen. Another double move. Man, this is some aggressive offense. And then when you see that hit in full speed, I understand why they throw the flag. Jim, we saw it in slow motion to see that he turned his head. Hard to see full speed. That's why you turn your head, to protect yourself.
So they explain it, the call to Harbaugh. The ball is marked at about the 12. Hedebo saying, I hit him with the shoulder.
Well, he's right. It was not illegal. He will not get fined by the NFL, I don't think. But it's yardage, the defense loses.
Jeremy Miles comes in for Hedebo, and up the middle, Green Ellis still fighting for it. And he's going to be ruled outside of the end zone by about a half a yard. He broke the tackle of Miles, who had just come in, number 36, at the end of this.
Look at the blocking down the field that time. The center, what a good job. Robinson gets the block. I was going to say, this Raven defense, hold them to a field goal and you still have a chance to win this game. Give up a touchdown, that's 3 scores. Hard to come back.
And the Jets have now moved 10 up on the Dolphins with just 4 minutes to go.
Well, I should say 2 scores, 2 touchdowns.
Dalton's going to throw for it, and he is intercepted. Jimmy Smith gives them hope. On 1st and goal inside the 1, the Bengals looking for a 15th straight red zone touchdown, and they get intercepted for the 4th time today. Don't count the
De nieuwe Renault Clio. Restart your heart. De nieuwe Renault Clio. Restart your heart. Ruil uw oude auto in voor een nieuwe Renault en wie weet betaalt Renault 10.000 euro mee. Check Renault.nl.
Nieuwjaarsdag staat garant voor spectaculair voetbal uit de onovertroffen Premier League. Live op Fox Sports. Om 2:15 de Citizens op bezoek bij Swansea. Om 4 uur Arsenal thuis tegen Cardiff. En Liverpool ontvangt Hull City. Om 6:30 op Old Trafford Man United de Spurs. Een heerlijk begin van 2014. Met Engels voetbal op zijn best bij Fox Sports.
If the Ravens come back to win this game, that's going to be a play call that's going to be second-guessed for the next 9 months. As Flacco finds that pass very nearly picked by Dunlap. And a flag has come out.
Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Gilberry is shaken up.
Unnecessary roughness after the play. Number 55, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Vontez Burfict is called for that. It's his second penalty today. And the ball will come back out to the 35. One of the Ravens just... I believe there's another flag just thrown. I believe on the Bengals.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 24 of the defense. 15-yard penalty.
Well, those two penalties are going to put the football at midfield. That's on Adam Jones.
2 penalties, personal foul. Wallace Gilberry, one of your best pass rushers.
That's the first penalty right there.
It's a pretty tough call. I'm not going to get on Burfict because, Jim, he wasn't looking at the football. He was reading the receiver and trying to time it. It was a push down.
A pair of 15-yarders. Ball at the 50.
Sorry, second one definitely uncalled for.
As Flacco goes way down the field on the sideline. And out of bounds. Jacoby Jones pushed out by Reggie Nelson.
You talk about good job. You got to get feet down. Contact doesn't matter. Jacoby Jones out of bounds no matter what. But the Ravens, how much have they overcome today to still be in this situation? They made plays on defense that has kept them in the game.
2nd and 10, and Flacco looking for options. Spins away and throws it away. The Jets up 10, and Ed Reed has just made an interception for the Jets. And if his former team can somehow make up ground, well, they needed Miami to lose, did Baltimore. And there's just about 3.5 to go in that game, and the Jets are in the red zone. Up 10. Down the field and incomplete. Thrown toward Jacoby Jones.
Pocket collapsed. Joe Flacco uncomfortable, but most of all, nobody open down the field.
Well, 4th down, they got to go for it.
Yep, 10 points down at midfield. So even if you don't make it, it's not like a crushing defeat for your football team. But you're right, you have to go for it.
Showing blitz. And here they come. Flacco just throws it down the field. No one there but a defender. And it'll be as good as a punt. Down at the 15 off the pick is Kirkpatrick. Dunlap was on top of Flacco so quickly he just had to throw it off his back foot.
Well, he tried to throw it down the middle, anticipate the throw, but once again, it's free runners to the quarterback. The biggest fear the Ravens had in this game today, can they block the blitzers? And that fear, it was real, and the answer is no, they have not blocked the blitzers all day long. And when the moment is big, the Bengals have come with the defense, with the blitz every single time.
We saw earlier Gilberry down on the field. He got poked in the eye. That's what they're reporting from the sideline. Possibly will return. Not Tom makes the quick hit on Bernard. Holds him to 2. Coming up, time permitting after the game, the NFL Today update presented by Aflac. Join JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest scores and highlights. The Jets have got another field goal by Nick Folk to go up 20-7 with 2:59 to go. So things again trending very nicely for the San Diego Chargers at the moment. And Pittsburgh also figures into the equation. If somehow San Diego falls to a Kansas City team that's resting its starters, then the Steelers would be in if things hold up the current way. Bernard is thrown down by McClain. A nice piece of tackling. So here are all the scenarios. San Diego, the third column down with a win and losses by Miami and Baltimore. That would put the Chargers in. Pittsburgh, it's got only about 1:50 to go, is going to win that game. Third and 7. Dalton somehow it got there to Marvin Jones. And that'll be good for more time off the clock. A new set of downs.
Huge. Good job moving in the pocket. Didn't like any tight windows. Don't take a chance. And this is some laser throw to the sideline by Andy Dalton, who was moving out of the pocket. But the one thing, the last 2 plays, Jim, the clock is moving. They snapped it with 10 seconds ago, and the last one was 7. You take that clock down to 1 or 2 seconds every play. 10. It's 25 seconds you've kept on the clock. I'm being a little over analytical, but it's the truth.
Well, let's go back. Things have been happening so fast since they got picked in the end zone on a 1st and goal from the 1. Had you just run it there and failed a couple of times, you also would have burned another minute or 2 off the clock. Let's say if it had gone all the way to 3rd or 4th down.
Well, you said it. That play, if they lose this game, it's going to be second guessed anyway, even if they hang on and win. But if they lose, oh my gosh, they wouldn't hear the end of it.
2nd and 4. They snapped that one with 12 on the play clock.
Wow.
Gain of 3.
Tell you what, whoever's talking to Andy Dalton in that headset, you go forward. Those times, these seconds are precious when you talk about do or die football games, especially next week, maybe in a playoff game.
This is on the heels of all the delay of games and the near delay of game calls in the first half. Now a big 3rd and 1. And they toss it. Ravens are there. And 4 of them combine on the stop. Actually, 5 Ravens in on Bernard. And that'll bring out Powell, whose last punt was one that he would like to forget and not have on his mind as he gets set to boot it here. Timeout called by the Ravens.
Still good job by the Bengals offense, getting the first down, changing field position, and taking some time off the clock.
Gilberry again, who was poked in the eye. And still an issue.
He's a big part of this defense, Wallace Gilberry. They lost Geno Atkins, their best inside pass rusher. Well, he's come around, and he has done a good job rushing the passer in that spot and has been very valuable to this team and the defense.
All right, let's check out Powell. Jacoby Jones, of course, so dangerous at the other end with 4 career punt return touchdowns. This one, a line drive to the 10. Jones breaks the tackle, wanting to go to the far side, but the Bengals have it covered up. Chris Lewis Harris finally closed it out, 48-yard punt and just a 3-yard return.
Good job by the defense hustling down there, Jim. That punt didn't sound great. It was a low liner, but the pursuers got down there quick and got it done.
4:15 to go and down 10. Flacco is intercepted, and this one's going to be run back by Kirkpatrick for the touchdown. The 6th defensive touchdown by the Bengals in their last 5 home games. Kirkpatrick runs it back 21 yards off of Flacco's 3rd pass interception thrown on the day.
Kind of summed up the whole year for the Baltimore Ravens offense. Timing not there. Throw was off target. Just not able to make it happen.
And I can only imagine how welcome that news was out in San Diego. Kirkpatrick, who started today because Terrence Newman was inactive with a knee injury, scores his first career touchdown, the first rounder a year ago out of Alabama.
Stays outside. That's where he was supposed to be. He had help on the inside, and when the throw's offline, he's right where he should have been. We talked about him early in the game, playing better, 1st round draft pick out of Alabama. Everybody's trying to pick on him.
How often do you see Flacco that far off the mark?
Well, you know, Jim, the team, the weapons, the offense, his injury, put it all together, and it's a lot to overcome.
Well, Pittsburgh's the final now. And again, all signs are pointing to the Chargers with a win over Kansas City, grabbing that last playoff berth in the AFC. If Kansas City somehow beats them out there, again, not even going with Jamal Charles or Dwayne Bowe or Alex Smith. If that somehow happens, the Steelers would work their way all the way back from 0-4 at the beginning of the year to grab the final playoff berth in the AFC. I mean, look, 2 weeks ago you're trying to figure out, okay, this team's still mathematically alive. Take the Chargers. They needed 6 things to happen. They needed win-win, and they needed Baltimore loss-loss, and they did Miami loss-loss. And right now they're going to have, it appears, 5 of the first 5 things to go their way, with their game still to come.
Well, we were talking about it yesterday. We don't think they would get a chance to get to the playoffs. Their chance looks like it is here if the Jets can hold on down in Miami. But Phillip Rivers, that coaching staff, what they do on both sides, I look at them as a dangerous team in the playoffs.
And of course, the Cincinnati Bengals, assuming they go ahead and finish this thing off. Marvin Lewis, who was part of that Super Bowl team when the Ravens won in 2000. But the Bengals hoping somehow Buffalo can upset New England in Foxborough, which would move them up to the 2. They're going to take Gilberry in. It clinch a first-round bye with a win, and if New England loses later this afternoon.
Say this about the Bengals. Pretty exciting team, aren't they, to watch? The game gets a little dull, don't worry. They'll make something happen and get it going again on either side.
Ball tipped, then caught by Rice for a first down. You make a good point, though, about Dalton. I mean, he's had a career-high 4 interceptions today. He appears to be a guy that maybe doesn't get to him too much.
Yeah, I think
the fans do.
He was fine all day, but I'll tell you, Jim, that 4th interception, that's the one he's going to carry into the night. It'll keep him motivated during the week. I think we'll see a sharp quarterback next week if they do play.
Pitt up for the first down. But, you know, he threw those 2 early picks. Seemed pretty unaffected, though, didn't he, after that?
He did, no doubt. Hey, listen, they throw the ball a lot. They got a versatile offense. They do a little bit of everything. So even when he gets off rhythm, Jay Gruden can call so many different style of plays that gets him back in rhythm and gets his confidence going.
There's Jacoby Jones, and he's got a first down at the Bengals 40. I was talking about San Diego needed those 6 things to happen heading into week 16. Pittsburgh needed 4 results last week to stay alive. They got all 4. They need 4 more today, and it looks like they're going to get the first 3 of that equation as Pitta has another reception. Here are the Ravens, who were at 4-6 and then went on a 4-game win streak. But the Bengals just 2 minutes away from closing this out.
Als je met andere ogen naar de wereld kijkt, worden gewone dingen opeens heel bijzonder. Zo is de Skoda Octavia Combi Greenline heel 2014 verkrijgbaar met 14% bijtelling. Kies dus voor de grootste auto met 14% bijtelling. Al vanaf €25.650.
Ben jij gelukkig getrouwd? Ik ook. www.secondlove.nl.
De Skoda Octavia Combi Greenline. Heel 2014 verkrijgbaar met 14% bijtelling. Al vanaf €25.650.
Je start met de eerste bocht voor je en het hele land achter je. 1 doel en je stopt voor niemand. Ik start mijn dag met vertrouwen. Nu net zo belangrijk als toen. Want als de wereld kijkt, wil je jezelf laten zien. Het is niet alleen wat je eruit wast, het is vertrouwen dat je erin wast. Head & Shoulders.
To the trips and the national anthem.
Hey, and it's a new day with new installs, so it's a foreign country to all these young guys. They got no idea what they're doing.
Wow, look at this group. They're poised and ready for takeoff.
Everybody's working. It doesn't get any better than this. Doggone, pretty soon you're going to be old and ugly like me.
We're looking at progress today, progress.
Right at the stretch, give me a good, not a little quick horn, give me a good start a practice.
You're looking at Mike Zimmer, his defense with 7 return touchdowns this season, including 1 today. 2 minutes to go. Ravens down 3 scores. Dump it off to Rice. Miami has lost and has been eliminated. The Jets go down there and win 20-7. And Pittsburgh wins by an identical score. Pittsburgh, the Jets and the Dolphins all 8-8. Jets have no chance coming into the week to get the postseason. And again, San Diego's in the driver's seat at the moment. Rice again with a catch. And John Harbaugh looking as though he will miss out on the playoffs for the first time in his distinguished head coaching career in year number 6, making it the first 5 years, and of course taking the title last year. Rice scoots to the 10. Ravens have 1 timeout left. And that's the last timeout for Baltimore. Coming up, Peyton will try to lock down the 1 with a win out at Oakland. Brady will try to secure the 2 and hold off Cincinnati for that first week bye. Plus Kansas City at San Diego, and the Chargers with a win would claim the final playoff berth in the AFC.
You're going to be talking about playoff scenarios in your sleep tonight. It's unbelievable.
You're right.
But it is amazing. We said that last night, going all over this. It's never going to go the way you think. And today, another perfect example of that.
The AFC is going to come down to San Diego or Pittsburgh. San Diego with a win would grab it. With a loss, Pittsburgh would have a miraculous turnaround and get the final berth. First and goal. Over to Torrey Smith. Turnaround move and out of bounds at the 7. And what you're going to be hearing about in the days ahead are the Bengals ready to finally break through and pick off a postseason victory. Hasn't happened since 1990. It's the longest drought without a playoff win in the league of any team.
Well, what they wish for starting the year to at least get a playoff game at home, win their division, they've done those 2.
Second and goal, and Flacco, who's had a rough day. Many of you just joining us. Flacco's thrown for 190 yards, 1 touchdown, but he's been picked 3 times. And the last one was returned by Drake Kirkpatrick for a touchdown.
The Ravens fixed their defense this past offseason. A lot of changes. This coming offseason, this offense, they're going to have to revamp it.
Third and goal, and a diving attempt by Marlon Brown.
Communication, timing, protection, skill, it's endless. They've overcome because they are a tough football team, the Ravens. Their defense here late in the year, I think, has played very well. A lot of points the last 2 weeks. It's really not their fault. Most of it comes from offensive turnovers and awful field position for the defense.
4th and goal as the Super Bowl champs are about to see their reign end with no postseason. And Marlon Brown is stopped short by Crocker, and the Bengals have certified their division title with a win that'll eliminate the Ravens.
I think, too, when you look at the Bengals today, even John Harbaugh said it last night, very talented team, coming of age, the quarterback, 3rd year, played well most of the year. 4 interceptions today, pretty rough, but he can overcome it.
We still cannot give you the order for the first 4 with Denver, New England, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis. The seeding positions are still up for grabs with the late games coming your way. Kansas City is sitting all of their starters virtually in the game against San Diego, and the Chargers control things as of this moment. Win over the Chiefs, and they'll be in the playoffs. Lose, and the Steelers will take the 6th seed. The Cincinnati Bengals close out an undefeated regular season at home for the first time in 25 seasons. Back in '88 when Boomer Esiason took them all the way to the Super Bowl, only to lose in a close one to San Francisco. It's been that long since they were 8-0 at the Jungle. But the Ravens will miss out on the playoffs for the first time in a long time after 5 straight appearances. The final score is Cincinnati 34 and Baltimore 17 coming up next. The NFL on CBS continues. You'll see either the Bills and the Patriots, the Broncos battle the Raiders, or the Chiefs and the Chargers. For Phil Simms and all the crew, Jim Nantz saying so long from Cincinnati. Coming up, the NFL Today update presented by Aflac. We'll take you to New York for all the scores and highlights right after this.